Hey, good to see you again. I want to tell you a story today. This is true. This is a true story, and it takes place at a vacation spot where our family would go up for a vacation. Now, this place is called KILWORRY. Kilworry. And this is a true story. It happened to me many years ago. At this time at Kilworry, we, my family, my two brothers and my mom and dad and I think this was about the only time we've gone up when I was a child. I've gone up many, many times as an adult. But this story takes place when I was a child, probably about 7 or 8 years old, something like that. We would always, when we went to Kilworry, of course, we went up in the summer. It was a summer vacation, and they have cabins on a lake in northern Minnesota. The lake is called Upper Whitefish, and the resort is called Kilworry. Okay. Well, there's a rule. There are some rules up at Kilworry at the resort, but not too many. And in fact, this isn't even a resort rule. Well, maybe it is. Don't run on the docks. Right? That's the rule. Don't run on the docks. And there's a good reason for that, as my story will illustrate. This happened one day when we were there at the resort on our vacation. And I'm not sure where my two brothers were. I'm not sure where my mom and dad were. At Kilworry, the kids get to a certain age and they can just kind of go and have fun, have safe fun in the resort. They don't go down to the water usually. That's kind of a danger area. And at the resort, there are docks and there's boats, and it's a nice place. This one summer day, I decided that I wanted to get out to the dock to check on something. And I was in a hurry. And I ran on the dock, which you shouldn't do, especially if you're barefoot. If you're barefoot, which I was that day. So I ran down the sandy hill, down to First Bay where the docks were, it's just right near where our cabin was. And I ran down onto the dock in my bare feet, in my shorts, in my t-shirt, and I slipped and fell. No, I didn't land in the water, which was good because I wasn't wearing a life jacket. I probably knew how to swim, and in that water, the water wasn't real deep there, but I fell down and on the wooden dock, and these are old boards that are old and dry and full of slivers. Now, a sliver basically is just a tiny little piece of wood that gets stuck in your skin. Might be in your hand, might be on your knee, might be on your foot. Well, I ended up kind of sliding across these boards on my hands and knees. And I got slivers in my hands. I got both hands. I got slivers on both knees, but especially one knee, and I think my right knee in particular, and on my feet, especially my right foot. And it really hurt. Slivers hurt. And I had a bunch of them. So I ran off the dock. I hobbled or ran as quickly as I could up to the cabin to find my mom, because I'm screaming, I'm in pain, and I need help. And God bless my mom. She was there, and she was of course, very loving, very helpful, very kind. And she comforted me, and we sat in a chair outside the cabin for quite a while as my mom tended to my slivers. She had a tweezers to help her. Now, tweezers is it's a tool, and I have a type of a tweezers here. This is my Swiss Army knife. It's got, knife blades and stuff. But one thing it does have is the tweezers. The tweezers this tweezers is, not very big, not really very useful especially getting out slivers. My mom had a much better tweezers. And the tweezer she had was better at picking things up. So if I had something to pick up, like a little piece of paper or something, I could show you how this works. Okay, so here's a piece of paper. Yeah, then I want it. Let's say I want to pick up this piece of paper, and the tweezers just kind of pinches it. If you can see that, pinches the piece of paper, and you can hold it. Well, my mom fortunately had a better scissors than I had, better tweezers than I had. And she picked away at all these slivers. There were about 100 of them. Whoa, 100, yes. As I remember, there were about 100 slivers. And each one, my mom very carefully pulled out, picked out, deposited it on the ground in the sand. And finally, after about an hour, it seemed, maybe it wasn't that long, she got all those slivers out. And I was so thankful. But if you get a wound or a cut or a sliver, you could get an infection. So my mom didn't want me to get an infection in all those 100 different spots. So she went into the cabin and she got a cotton ball and a bottle of this reddish red liquid called iodine. And they don't use iodine much anymore to kill germs because they have some other products now, other things. They used to use a thing called mercurochrome, something like that we used later. That worked, it killed the germs, and it didn't sting. The iodine stung. It stung a lot. My mother, God bless her, I was probably sobbing, crying, just moaning, and no. She took the cotton ball and she went ahead and dipped out some iodine. The stuff is tough. It's poisonous. It's got actually a skull and crossbones on the label that says poisonous, don't drink this stuff. And then she took that cotton ball and dabbed the iodine that stung like crazy on those 100 different little sliver cuts in my skin, on my hands, on my knees, on my feet, on my shins, on my legs. Now, this is over 60 years ago. It's probably close to 65 years ago. And I remember it well. Wow, that hurts, that stings, but that kills the germs. I didn't get any infection in all those 100 sliver cuts. And I remember that clearly. So there's a reason for certain rules, and the rule about running on the dock is a good rule to remember and a good rule to follow. And if you're on the dock, wear shoes. So I broke a couple rules there. I ran on the dock, I didn't have shoes on, and I ended up with a lot of pain. But a memory of, okay, be careful at KILWORRY. So there is another part to this story that the name of the story, as I would often tell it, is called Fish and Slivers. That's the sliver. That was the, where am I here? That was the slivers part that I told you today. Another time I'll tell you about the fish part. That's much more enjoyable, as I remember. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll tell you more KILWORRY stories another day. And snip, snap, snout. This tale is all told out.